Welcome to the Notorious HFL podcast. I'm your host, Notorious HFL. On this podcast, huge fat loser on all social media platforms and Aaron Lohman in real life. Before I introduce my wonderful guest today, I just want to thank my sponsor, Reps for Responders. It's a 501c3 charity organization that gives back to first responders, mental health resources, does gym scholarships, does a whole bunch of stuff. Their next upcoming event is the Roll Call event with Echelon Front. That's Jocko Willink's company, and it's in New Jersey. Please go to their Instagram to find out how to do that. It's a good way to check in on each other and make sure that, you can be a leader. I know it gets misconstrued a lot. Rank doesn't make leadership. Anybody at any level can be a leader, and you can be a leader too. So just, it's all about leadership, all about taking care of yourself, all about taking care of the people that work with you, that work under you. And that's what that seminar is about. So please definitely check in on that. It's going to be a great event, and it's in New Jersey. Check out their Instagram, reps_for_responders, or go to their website, repsforresponders.org. And without further ado, one of my favorite people in the universe is here. I don't even know how to introduce her. I was going to give her like a cool nickname that I just made up right now. But this is my friend, Sarah Maresca, the Queen of Positivity. Let's just call her that, the Queen of Positivity.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. So I'm going to blow up your spot. This is your first podcast ever.
This is my first podcast ever, so I'm definitely a little nervous, but I'm trying to pretend I'm not.
Okay. Why are you nervous?
I don't know. It's you. I shouldn't be.
Yeah, no.
Better go with the flow.
Listen, I think this is going to be a good one. You have a lot to. You're a great person. I see you in the gym. Let's start out with this. So the first time I ever really met you, I was at ProFit, and you came up to me and you said something like hello to me, and I was like, honestly, I was like blown away. I'm like, I don't know. When you start social media, and I'm one of those people, when I started social media, my whole entire goal was to meet people in real life that I could have good relationships with. So when you came up to me, I always have this opinion, I don't think I'm anything. I think I'm fucking nothing. So when you came up to me, I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? Whatever. And I'm like, hey, what's up? So how were you first introduced to me, if you remember?
I remember I just literally walked up to you. I followed you on social media, and then I was like, you know what? I love his stuff. I'm just going to go up to him and just introduce myself. And then I know we had that mutual VMI type of thing. We were both ambassadors at the time. How ironic now that I'm work there. But yeah, I came up to you and I was just like, hey, I love your Instagram. What's up? Yeah. And then we just hit it off. Yeah. It was game over from there. And then I think we just got into you talking about your story, me talking about my story, and then it was game over. We just knew we clicked. No, it's awesome. And I think that people listening out there, if you follow somebody on social media, don't be the type of person to just not talk to them, because I deal with that too. Where I see somebody that will follow each other on social media, I'll say hello to them, and they look at me like they don't know who I am. It's we follow each other on social media, we like each other's posts. It's just this really bizarre thing. And I feel you got to say hi. You have to at least be yo,
yeah,
what's
up? You have to. And I think maybe that's just a disconnect of I'm an old man. Okay, I'm 41 years old, but it's just that disconnect of the social media thing where they think it's a completely different universe. To me, both my universes come together, and I want to say the best relationships that I have now came from relationships that started on social media. So definitely have that confidence, go up to people, and I appreciate that they because honestly, like I said, I genuinely don't think I'm anything. So when you come up to me and oh, hey, I love following you, I love engaging with your stuff, hey, how's it going? We developed this relationship. I was like, wow, it made me feel good, and right. I developed a relationship with you that will hopefully carry on for
it will definitely carry on forever. But yeah, I feel I can't stand when you say that, by the way, that you're nothing, because you are a lot. But yeah, I saw your stuff and I was just let me go up to him, say what's up, and maybe we'll start a relationship. And look, then you came to my event, you talked at my event. I mean, you don't know what a person has to say, you don't know what their story is, so you might as well. I mean, I was very nervous in the beginning when I first started going to the gym. I would have never went up to anybody. But as time goes on, it's you meet a lot of cool people, so you might as well just put yourself out there,
Yeah, so that's really the first thing I want to talk about is what, and we're going to get into a lot of fitness and workout stuff, nutrition, what you do, obviously, for work. But first, I want to talk about, did you always work out?
So, long story here. I actually did not work out at first. I struggled with an eating disorder, as you know. So that's really what got me into the gym. At first, I had a very unhealthy relationship with food. It started probably when I was around like 14 years old. I wouldn't want to eat anything. My parents would be like, come on, and I would just like throw my food in the garbage. It got very bad. That's when we knew that there was something up. Obviously, I was very young to understand what was going on. I just had very poor body dysmorphia. I looked at myself. I always thought I was like 30 pounds heavier, 40 pounds heavier than I was. I feel like, you probably understand that. A lot of people have difficulty understanding that. So it's hard for me to like explain to my parents, because I would be like, I'm so fat. And they would be like, you're like 70 pounds. Like, what are you even saying? So a lot of people don't understand that. But for the people that are going through it, that's why I'm always trying to help those types of people. But yeah, it was very hard. And eventually over time, I was like, I need to do something. I saw my mom crying. I can't keep doing this. So I went to the doctor, and they literally told me, like, you need to gain, like, it was like an astronomical number, this amount of weight in like a 2-week period. And I was like, I don't know how the hell I'm doing that. And my mom was like, we got this. My mom is the best.
She's awesome.
She's awesome. Yeah. She's my biggest supporter, and my entire family, my brother, my dad, everyone was just like trying to help me get better and change my mindset. They obviously didn't understand. I feel like you are the one that has to make the change. Mm-hmm. No matter, it's great to have that support all around. Everybody's helping you, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. But at the end of the day, it's you that needs to make that change. So I went to doctor. I gained the weight with the help of pretzel M&Ms and mac and cheese. Those were my 2 things that I just would shove down daily. It was disgusting. I won't eat either. I eat a little bit of mac and cheese now, but I really won't eat pretzel M&Ms because I'm scarred, literally. So I gained the weight, and then everything was holly and great for about 3 years, and then boom, right back. I can't tell you what triggered it. I don't know. I think it's like a mental thing. I really couldn't tell you, but I was very, very sick in like 2019, 2020. That was my worst. I was 19 years old, and, I was weighing 80 pounds at 5 feet, like 5'3", 80 pounds. And I was very sick. It went on for about a year. And then I was like, you know what? I really I hated myself. I was crying all the time. And I think my breaking point was when I was sitting in my bed, and I called my mom to come home from work because I couldn't see. I literally could not see. I just was like a mess. I was like, am I dying? Like, I thought I was like, this is it. I couldn't get up. It was terrible. And it's definitely like, it hurts to talk about that, because that's one of the hardest things I've ever been through. My mom rushed home from work. She's sitting with me, and she's like, Sarah, we need to do something. She's hysterical, crying. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I sat there all night, and I guess I really was just like, you know what? Like, the next morning I was like, I need to freaking make a change. I need to make a change. I can't keep doing this to myself, because at the end of the day, like, it's hurting my family now. It's not only hurting me, and I'm the type of person that wants to make everybody happy. So I was like, I can't see my family in pain anymore. I can't see my friends in pain. People were talking about me, and it was just a disaster. So I was like, you know what? Today's the day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to make this change. And that is when I went to the gym. I was obviously going here and there, but this is when I seriously committed. Like, I was going every day. First, it was a little bit of an unhealthy relationship, but, it was very cardio-based. I would go in there. I would compare myself to everybody, which you can't compare yourself to people.
Yeah, no,
you can't.
Yeah.
So I was comparing myself to people. It was a mess. And over time, like, I just was like, I want to be like her. I want to gain that weight. I want to look like that. And very unhealthy. Downloaded MyFitnessPal. That helped me out to stay like stable. And then over time, I guess I just became more positive. I started to like cut out those toxic people in my life and just really brought in like better people. And I was like, I want to compete. And I'm still going, I'm still talking. This is a long story, but I was like,
no, it's perfect. I like to let people talk and like tell their story, but without interrupting them, and then I'll go back. And
it's like a long, it's a very long journey. But I was like, I want to compete. I saw these girls, and I was like, I really want to be like that. And I did the research myself. I was looking into it, and I was like, ooh, wellness. That sounds pretty cool. And I'm sitting here like 80 pounds soaking wet. Like, I want to be a wellness competitor. And, I told a few people about it, and everyone was like, you're out of your mind. You will never do that. Stick with bikini. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. A lot of people were like, you're way too small for that. You'll never fit. didn't stop me, because I always had that mentality, like, I don't care what you say, I'm going to do what the hell I want to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm doing wellness, so I'm doing it. Found a coach, and I told my coach, I was like, we're doing wellness. And she was like, okay, you know what? Let's do wellness, you know?
Before you continue, I'm an idiot. Like, I people think that I know a lot about bodybuilding and stuff because I go to the gym all the time. What is the difference between wellness and all the other divisions?
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, for wellness, obviously you have to be a little bit, it's very focused on, like, you know, your legs, your glutes, your hamstrings. It's a lot larger than, you know, a bikini competitor. There's a slight difference there. You know, so I needed to grow if I wanted to be in that category, like, dramatically. Like, I mean, I'm still not big enough. I'll never be big enough. You know, you see these wellness girls.
What do you mean, like height-wise?
No, I mean, like, you know, size-wise. I mean, look at Francesca look at her legs. Like, that's a wellness competitor right there. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
if you asked me what see, I know Francesca very well, but I couldn't even tell you what division she was in. Like, I'm like, wellness. Okay, yeah, like, I'm like one of those people who's outside the fitness industry, and I'm like, wow, they look great. Like, you know, I guess they should win. Like, I have no idea what the criteria. You know, I think everybody looks good, but yeah.
I mean, I was like that too, honestly. I never really knew until I really dug deep and did that research. But long story short, in order to be in wellness, I really had to put on a serious amount of size, and it for someone like me at that time to say that, it was a little crazy. Like, so I was like, you know what, let's do it. And, you know, I did it. My first show was definitely not. I was standing next to these girls that were huge, and I'm very, like, humble with that. Like, I understand, but I did it, and I felt so cool about it. I felt so confident. My relationship with food was actually getting so much better, because I was like, wow, like, I'm eating. I feel good. I feel great in the gym. I'm lifting heavier. My body's getting where I want it to be. And over time, I just started to, like, get this, like, positive, like, self-love type of, you know, mentality, and I was like, I want to help other people, and that's how I started to get into personal training. So all of it comes together, but at the end of the day, the only person, I always say, that can make that change is yourself. You know,
yeah, nobody can do it for you. You have to actually make that, and that's the hardest part about helping people too. Is like, you know what needs to be done, and you could tell them a million times about what needs to be done, but until they make that decision that they actually want to do it themselves and actually do the work, it's not going to happen. You know, I have people come to me all the time. They're like, listen, my husband, he's gonna die. He's this much weight. I'm like, does he want to change? No. And I'm like, listen, I know this hurts, but, like, there's honestly nothing that I can do for them. There's nothing I can do until they want to make that change. And it's sad. It's honestly very, very sad.
It really is sad. Yeah. I mean, now
mental health too is the same thing. Like, if people don't reach out and they want to take that first step to get help, like when you first went to the doctor, it was like, what kind of doctor was it? It was
just it was my regular doctor. I mean, honestly, I was very young, so it could have been somewhere else that my mom, like, it could have been more of like a, you know, a more intense doctor. But she probably was like, we're going to the doctor, everything's okay, because I was like freaking out already. But yeah, I mean, when I went there and she was like, you need to gain, like, I think she said like 20 pounds in 2 weeks, and I was like, are you out of your mind? Like, that's not happening. And my mom's like, it's okay, Sarah, we're going to do it. But yeah, my mom definitely got me there, but, you know, I still wasn't fully better yet, you know, until a few years ago when I was like, I need to make the change. You know, my mom's not bringing me to the doctor. I need to fix this. That's when everything, you know, started to go in the right direction.
Do you have any idea what started, you know, the eating disorder to begin with?
To be completely honest with you, I still try to think about it. Like, to this day, I'm like, what? Why did I do that to myself? I look at old pictures and I'm like, what the heck was I doing? I don't know. It was very sad. I was not confident at all in myself. It could have stemmed from some type of, like, you know, mental, I don't know. Depression maybe. I was all over the place. But I just don't know what actually triggered it. I mean, I have a great family, I have great people in my life, very happy person. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You don't know what somebody's going through. And that's why I always say, it doesn't matter what is on social media. It doesn't matter when you see these people in the gym and they're smiling and happy. You don't know what the hell is going on in their head.
No, you really don't.
You don't. You have no idea. So that's why I always go up to people. You don't know, you know, try to be nice.
No, it feels great. Honestly, like when people, like, approach you in the gym or anybody and be like, hey, even like saying hi to somebody is just like, it feels good, you know, because everybody's going through some shit and you're having a rough day, you know, and like that's why I like hanging out with you guys, because you're always positive and like talking well and like, you know, uplifting everybody, which which is great. You know, did you find that when you first started going to the gym after we were going through everything, that, I mean, essentially, like, usually when it comes to like mental health or like depression or anxiety or even an eating disorder or anything, a lot of it stems from like control. Right?
Yes.
And like at that point, like maybe something, I don't know what happened with you, but like what happens in a lot of people's lives is like you feel like loss of control over something, so you start to like control, I don't know, food in general in a negative way, in an over obsessive way, to instead of controlling what you can or whatever. Did you find that going to the gym and having a good relationship with food transferred that sense of control to you?
100%. Yeah. Because I went to therapy too for this.
Yeah.
And my therapist was like, you have a control, like you have OCD, like you have control issue. And I was like, okay, like what do I do about that? She's like, do you have any hobbies? You know, they try to switch you. But I think it was a very positive thing.
I think that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was at first. Yes, the obsession with the gym and the food and the macros and I had a headache. Yeah, but once I became obsessed in like, I love this. I love the sport. I love my job. It relates to the gym. Everything started coming together. It wasn't just about like, I'm going to go to the gym and burn this many calories because I ate this much food. It wasn't an obsession like that. Right. At first it was, yes. But after time went on, I started to develop like, you know, I really like this part of the gym. Let me try and do this. Let me try this food, you know? So it was more like the obsession kind of like,
yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. Like, and people don't realize that when they're on the negative downfall, like me, I was the same way. I was very negative. I was very depressed. I was always in my own head. I was trying to control everything else except the things that I could control. And then I found the same thing. Like when I went to fitness and I went to like eating better. Yeah, same thing. When you first start out, you start obsessing over that and like it gets crazy and like, but you learn how to control your own self in like the most positive and beautiful way ever through fitness and nutrition. Right. That it almost makes everything else fall into place, and you realize in regular life what is controllable and what is not, and like having that like real sense of control over what you do is just like, people don't realize that it bleeds into the rest of your life. Like I would have never in a million years, if I didn't start working out and I didn't start eating right, I would have never finished college. I graduated college last year. I would have never written books. I would have never gotten promoted at work. I would have never done any of these things because I would have, you don't realize what you're capable of 100%. If you actually place your mindset and I can control this. I have power. It gives you your power back. Yeah. The gym and fitness and like doing these things really gives you your power back over your, you know, yourself and your mind. And yeah, I think people, and you said you're still a psychologist. Like I say this to people all the time, especially, and you don't even have to have an eating disorder or anything, is like when it comes to nutrition, I think most people know what they need to do. Like we're all adults. We know. Yeah, we all know. Yeah, right?
You know what you got to do.
Especially as a coach. Like I'm a coach too. Like these people know what they need to do, but there's a reason. Especially like me. Like I was 425 pounds. Like I knew what I needed to do, but like there's a reason. There's something in our brain that tells us that we A, can't do it, B, it's not possible, and like, or C, like there's this other thing, like, oh, I don't deserve it, I don't deserve to treat myself well, I don't deserve good things, I don't deserve positive things. And this is what I always tell people would probably be more beneficial seeing a psychologist than a nutritionist.
100%.
Without a doubt.
100%. I think people would be more beneficial seeing someone like me or you and just having a conversation with somebody that's went through it. And that's why I initially started the whole personal training thing to begin with, because I was like, you know what? Like, I went through this. My personal training was more of like, let me help and coach other people mentally, not just physically. I mean, my girls are awesome. Like, honestly, they're the best. But I don't really train them anymore because of my full-time job now. But back then, I feel like we were building more of a community of just positive mindsets. You know, we all came to my studio and we grinded it out, but it was like we all talked and we lifted each other up. That was the whole goal of what I did. It wasn't to, you know, make them the next like Olympian, you know, it wasn't like that. And the girls that came to me knew that. It was more of like, let's grow together. Let's be a team of like strong, powerful women that, you know, we all have our own stuff. We all have our own problems. Let's just be open about it. We come in this door, like, let's just let it loose. Like everybody just talk, let it out. And it was so amazing because I felt like it was cool to be able to watch myself help other people go through what I went through and watch them grow. And I'm like, wow, like this is awesome. You know, like I'm seeing these people that came to me at the same weight I was, and I'm never going to do this. I hate myself in the mirror, and I'm coaching them, making them feel better every day. You could do this. Sometimes that's all that people need.
Yeah.
You can do this. You can do this.
Need somebody to hold their hand and walk them through it, at least it's like at the beginning, because it seems impossible.
Yeah.
So that's how you started out doing like group classes?
Started out actually doing group classes, yes. And it was based off of, you know, my whole story. I got a call from News 12, and they asked me to be on, I guess, their...
I remember seeing
it.
I mean, I saw it after the fact, because after we first met, like, you told me that you wanted me to speak at this eating disorder thing, this fundraiser, which we'll get into a little bit later, is like, I was like, I had no idea what your story was in general up until that point. So then I obviously like looked it up and I found it, and I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So News 12 called you, and
yeah, they called me. I was actually, I was at the gym. I was not ready to do that at all. So if you did see that, the story is beautiful, but my appearance was just not there that day because I was dripping sweat. My hair was a mess. They were like, we're gonna hop on the call in 10 minutes. I'm like, all right. So I like rush home. I'm holding my phone like this. It was just, but other than that, it was a great experience, and I'm so grateful for that. And that's really, you know, I had like a small group before that, and then I guess a bunch of people saw that, and then a bunch of girls I was getting phone calls, like DMs, like, can you help me out? My daughter's going through this, or can you help me out? I need help with this. And I was like, you know what? Let me do classes, and maybe I can get all these girls to come in here at once, and we can all just, you know, get it going. So it started as classes, and they were awesome. I had a great time. We were just, you know, we'd blast the music. I did club themed classes because it was like, let's make it fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, let's make it fun.
No, I used to see the videos.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah.
I always want to make it fun for people and positive. And then over time, I'd have girls staying after class, and I felt like a therapist because they were like, I need help with this. This happened to me here. I feel depressed. And I was like, let me do personal training. And that's when that started. I'd have these girls come in one-on-one, and, you know, it was awesome.
And they would come into your place, or you would go?
Yeah, or I would go to their house, or, you know, and I would do phone calls, and it was a really good time in my life. It really was. Yeah.
It's funny, it's like, as a coach, like, as a guy, people are going to be like, oh, you probably like working with men. No, I like working with women way more because, honestly, their attention to detail, like, they'll actually listen. And I always say this when I present, is like, my best clients are women, because it's like, you know that stereotype where like men never stop and ask for directions. It's it's the truth. Yeah. It's the same thing with coaching. Like, I find that like coaching women and like in that environment, and I'm actually jealous. Like, one of my goals has always been to like teach some type of like group class.
Let's do it.
I always wanted to like legitimately bring back, like, be like Richard Simmons and like do like, not like sweating to the oldies, but like sweating to like, I don't know, like 90s hip hop, and like just like bring back that whole shit, because like, to me, like, I just think, and like you said before, like, people think that my goal is to like turn people into bodybuilders. Like, I don't give a shit. That's just, I enjoy going to the gym and lifting weights. It's just something I enjoy, but I didn't always enjoy doing that. I started out riding a bicycle and doing other stuff. I just want to, you know, do something for people, and I think that having a group class would like be something that like helped that. But I wouldn't know where to do it or how to do it, and like, I don't know what, you know, I don't know anything, and I'm always like nervous, like, oh yeah, if I do this, like, nobody's gonna show up, and then it's gonna be like the worst fucking thing ever. You know, we talk all the time. You're like, why would you ever think that? Like, I don't know, because like people think that I'm like this extroverted dude. Like, I'm like a forced extrovert. Like, I'm actually an introvert. Like, I have to force myself to do all these things. That's why I had this thing, like, 5 years ago when I started this whole journey, and like 6 years ago now when I started this whole journey, I made this decision, because I used to say no to like everything. Now I'm just going to say yes to everything. That's why when you asked me, to speak at the event, I was like, in my head, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to say to them? Like, okay, fine. Okay, I'll do it. And I legitimately didn't plan a speech. I had no idea. I do that with, and I made sure that I do that with everything. That
was awesome for not having anything planned. That was great.
I never plan. I usually, like, I have like a couple thoughts in my head, but I try to make sure that even when I speak at work, except for my huge presentation that I give as far as resilience and like not letting the job define you and beat you and all that other stuff, I do not plan a single thing. Like, I maybe a couple ideas in my head, but I really just want it to be genuine and come from a place of realness, because I see people talk all the time and they have they're not talking from the heart, and it's just like I hate that, and I would rather somebody like go up there and be totally nervous and fuck it up, because you know that they're being a real,
100%.
it's coming from a real place, then see somebody like read off of a prepared thing. It's just like everybody else. Same thing on social media too. Like people ask me all the time, like, why don't you plan content? And I'm like, because my brain does not work like that. Like, and this is what's crazy too, is like, I'll make a thing. I'll be like, okay, I want to make a video about this. I think this would be a real positive video. But then, like, sometimes I'll be like, oh, yeah, I'll talk shit about the Yankees. Sorry, Nick. I'll talk shit about the Yankees. They're like, viral video. Like, I'm like, this is not what I want to be known for. I don't want to be known for talking shit about the Yankees. I want to be known for this, like, all this. It's just so weird. But, you know.
No, I feel like social media is definitely, like, for me, you see my stuff. It's crazy. I post the craziest things. I mean, I'm pouring protein on my head. Like, I want people to see.
I'm surprised you were able to wash that out of here. I thought you were wearing a hat today because you couldn't get
honestly,
it out of your hair.
it took me, like, 2 days to get that out.
Because, like, the second you add water to the protein, it becomes glue. So I was like, this is such a... When I saw that...
I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, it was a great video.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome video.
But then I'm like, you know what? Like, what did I do? After I had protein everywhere. But, you know, that stuff's funny to me. I mean, I'd rather see that than a picture, no offense, but a picture of a girl, you know, sticking her butt out. I mean, here and there, yeah, but, you know, I'd rather see the real stuff, the raw stuff, you know.
I agree 100%. And I think this is what, you know, it's funny because you are an athlete manager for VMI Sports, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this leads in, and it's obviously all social media related, and like, you know, a lot of these things are social media. And I think genuinely that's where a lot of people fall short when they try to be, quote unquote, a fitness influencer or get involved in the thing, is here's my transformation photo. And even me, like at the beginning, like you'll see very rarely will I post a transformation video, transformation photos, like, yeah, because listen, don't get me wrong, I'm very confident. I like that's what I did, that's what I accomplished, or whatever. But if that is all you have, like, what else you got? Same 100%. Thing if you're great, you're an NPC competitor, great, you're an IFBB pro, awesome. What else you got? Yeah. Like, what makes you relatable to these people? Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people fall short, you know, and, you know, you could speak on it too, like when it comes to like people engaging with your athletes.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. I think, you know, I don't know, I feel like it's people want to get famous for the wrong reasons. And, you know, when you're putting yourself out there, you know, yes, you're going to get likes if you're doing inappropriate stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there's people out there that are going to want to like that and save that. But is that really how you define yourself? I mean, yeah, like me too. I'm going to be posting when I'm on stage again. I'm going to be posting, you know, in my bikini. I'll be posting, but I'm proud of it, you know? But at the same time, I also post other stuff with my family, things that are important to me. I want people to know that, you know, not just me without my clothes on is me, you know? There's other parts to me.
There used to be this thing, and this happened like back when, like, more so. I mean, I still see it now. Like, people will like have two separate accounts. Like, they're like, this is my account of my life, and then this is my fitness page. It's like, no, dude, like, if you were really trying to do something, those things have to merge.
You know what it is? You know what's funny? I actually had that before. I had two accounts. I had my fitness account and my regular account because I wanted to like show my journey from start to finish. And then it merged. And I changed my name on Instagram because I was like, no, this is all me. This is me as a whole. So I put the accounts together and I changed my name.
I think a lot of it comes from, you know, is insecurity, right? Like I see this with a lot of people. They want to have a separate account because they're scared of annoying their friends with their fitness content because, you know, people are like, oh, look at this fucking asshole taking pictures in the gym or whatever. But like, and this is to everybody out there who like wants to start something, whatever. I don't give a shit if it's fitness. I don't care if you want to start like a I don't know, like a poker club, whatever it is, like a journaling club or book reading thing. And you listen. The people who support you in your real life are going to support you no matter what the fuck you do. So just do it in your real life. You do not have to hide yourself or who you are for these people. And if they don't like it, you know, they could leave. They could kick rocks. Like, this is who you are now. And like, you will find a whole nother group of people that like align with you and are like with you or willing to support you. Yeah. And like the people who won't, listen, they probably weren't supporting at all to begin with. You know what I mean? So.
You were telling me that too. I remember you were like, just post, you know, just post. I had a big issue, like about a year ago with like putting myself out there because I was so critical. I was like, well, what if they don't like this? What if they don't get comments on this? What if... Now I'm like, I don't give a shit. Right. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. And, like, if no one likes it, like, whatever. I used to be so concerned on, like, how many views I got, how many likes, how many comments. like you said, if the people want to support you, the people, your people are going to be there.
Not only that, like, who fucking cares? Like, I post, sometimes I'll post like 0 times in like 3 days, and sometimes I'll post like 4 times in a day. Like, it doesn't matter. And I'll tell you this right now, this is so crazy. So you want to talk about engage. I know like all athlete management, when it comes down to sponsorships, people want to know, first of all, the algorithm is impossible to figure out. You can't. It doesn't exist.
100% impossible.
And I hate, one of my biggest hatred of social media are these people who pretend to be like, oh, I'm a social media manager. I'm a marketing manager. I have the strategy figured out. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know shit. Because I'll tell you this shit right now. The 2 most engaging posts of all time on my account don't even involve me, okay? And I'm gonna, it's crazy. So people are like, oh, my audience is not seeing it. It doesn't matter, all right? Is the one, I posted it on like December 28th, I think, 2023. It's like a clip from that movie with whatever. He's like dancing. It's like, oh, if you think, if I pissed you off this year, wait till you see next year.
Yeah.
That post has 5.5 million views, okay? Do you know, I have 40,000 followers. Out of my 40,000 followers, how many of my followers saw that post, do you think?
I don't know, maybe like a couple thousand?
11,000 out of 40,000.
Yeah, so that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. So like that post, as crazy as it went, the people who follow me aren't even seeing it. It's fucking nuts.
No.
So same thing. The other one, like it's like a woman talking about the positivity of the gym and how she's been going to the gym for 3 days. Same thing. 5.5 million followers. 12,000. Only 12,000 of my 40,000 people that follow me saw that post.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a post like I posted yesterday. It'll be like the guy, the Mike's Underground Pizza in Amityville, he like supports me, he like wore a shirt or whatever. Be like 30 likes on that post. Like, I'm telling you, it's uncontrollable. This is why you just need to post what you like, who you are, and like sometimes people it'll hit, sometimes it won't, and that's it. But if you keep obsessing over like what other people,
100%,
it's controlling you. Like you're now censoring and you're altering yourself and your own personality in order to please other people, when it's no good. You eventually become somebody that you're not. Your
page should be a reflection of you, basically. 100%. I mean, it's sad to say, but that's how the world is now. It really is. So if you're gonna have an Instagram, if you're gonna have a social media account, make it a reflection of yourself, not a picture of yourself that looks nothing like you, and then I'm gonna see you in person and be like, is that the same girl that was on the picture? Like that's crazy to me. Show who you are. People, I feel like people are so nervous. Just put it out there. Don't be nervous. I feel like people need to understand that there are going to be people out there that engage with what you post. People like you. Even you. I tell you all the time, like, you're awesome. I love watching your stuff.
Thank you.
I don't just comment and share your stuff for fun. I actually I love it. I engage with it. I think it's awesome. So, one post that somebody posts, someone might not relate with, but somebody else might relate with it. So you might as well just put it out there, without worrying about what everybody's thinking.
Right.
So, I think that's super important.
Yeah, not only that, like, especially when it comes to supplements or anything you're trying to market. I don't care. For me, it's like products, like shirts, programs, like, whatever. It's like people don't buy products. People buy people.
Yeah.
And that's 100%. It's 100% the truth, because like, and I always I say this like to my wife a lot, is like, nobody, like, people care about like what something can do for them. Like, and it is what it is. And that's fine. But you can have a shitty product, but be a good person, and people will support that product. Yeah, and it's 100% true. You could have the best product in the world. It could be the best thing in the world, but if nobody like relates with you and nobody likes you, like nobody's
why would somebody
buy it?
Yeah,
they don't believe, especially if they think you're not genuine. Then forget it. Nobody's ever going to buy anything.
That's why I always tell my ambassadors, I'm like, guys, there's a lot of brands out there that'll have like a specific posting requirement. Like, you guys post a reel of you outside in your car, drinking this pre-workout and telling how much you love it. And I'm out there like, I'm watching these and I'm like, this is so staged. I'm not going to tell you guys to post that. Like, what do you, So I'm like, guys, post things, everybody's audience is different. Post things that your followers engage with. Post things that you enjoy posting on your page, that don't tell me you like the product if you don't, please. I always say that. I'm like, guys, if you don't like it, don't talk about it. I want people to know it's real. You want people to, I really like this product. I'm not going to post something if I don't actually take it. And that's another thing I always see. People are posting things and they don't even they don't even take it.
They don't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've seen that so many times. Like, I'm not blowing up anybody's spot. I'm not going to drop any names.
No.
But, like, I'll go into Bevs and I'll see people who are, like, legitimately, like, pros. Like, and then they're, like, taking some shit that's not even with their... Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, it's crazy. Just be honest. And honestly, more people, and I tell these people all the time who have, like, sponsorship deals, or maybe they're an ambassador for another company, is like, if you're constantly posting, like, let's say, oh, VMI, people are like, yo, well, this person gets paid by VMI, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if you sprinkle in an occasional thing that's not VMI that you also take, people are more apt to believe that you actually take the products that you take, because you're shouting out some other product that you're not getting paid for. So they're like, oh, maybe this person actually does like this stuff. Maybe I will. And I had this issue all the time. And believe it or not, like, when I was with VMI, right, I actually was with First Form at the time, and First Form, like, they pretty much were like, hey, listen, you can't post other stuff. You're going to have to make a choice. And I'm like, okay, cool. See you later. See you later. Like, because I'm not like that. Like, I'm not like that. I only fuck with people, like, to be genuine. And if you're going to tell me not to be genuine, I'm going to tell you to kick rocks and take a walk. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think the best is when people post things and they're like, you got to try this. Like, I made this, this whole whatever pancake or waffle with this, and they don't even eat it, and I'm like, dude, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Like, so yeah, for sure, if you're gonna take a product and you're gonna represent a product, I always say, that's why I take so much pride in what I do. I call every single ambassador I sign. It's very crazy. It's like, really, I don't know how I do it, but I'm calling them. I'm like, hey, have you ever had VMI before? How did you hear about us? What gym do you go to? What are your hobbies?
Oh, that's awesome.
I want to know everything about this person, which is crazy because there's like 300 of them. But, I'll take the time, a couple of minutes out of the day, because I want to make sure, everyone that's coming on our team, they're genuine quality people. They're honest. I'm not going to have you just posting, KXR and you don't even like it, And I'll be the first one to say, people are like, what's your favorite product? What's your least favorite product? And I'll tell them. I'm not going to lie and be like, I like them all. They're all fantastic. They're great products, but I'm a human being. There's some products I obviously, prefer over another product. And I'm honest about that, because I wouldn't want to, like, make somebody buy something and then them not like it and be like, well, you told me so. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
One of the worst things that, if you're a social media, like, brand ambassador out there, that you could say that, like, really fucking drives me up a wall is when you say, this is the best.
Yeah.
For who? When they use that word, the best, I'm always like, that's such a subjective word, and now I immediately don't believe it. Right? Oh, this is the absolute best. Why? Why is it the best? Please tell me why it's the best.
Yeah, that's what Nick said.
Have you tried every supplement out there? No, you haven't? Okay, so then you can't tell me that it's the best. Maybe it's the best for you, but it's subjective. Just be like, hey, listen, this is what I use, this is what I like. And I do the same thing with working out. When I give, like, workout tips or whatever, I go, hey, listen, this might work for you. You might like it. I don't know. This is what I do. Cool. All right, see you later. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
Nick hates when I say game changer. Like, when I'm like, this is a game changer. He's like, don't say that. It's not a game changer. So there are a lot of people that do that stuff. But, I agree with you. You got to be genuine. You got to be honest, or no one's going to. You can see that. You can read that from a mile away when somebody's like, it's so good. It's the best thing I ever had. It took me from here to here. No, it enhanced that. But you also had to put in the work, too.
Yeah, of course.
There are other factors that play a part.
Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't be disingenuine. Especially, I see that with a lot of supplements, like, that people lie about, and like I'm straight up honest. Like, when it comes to certain things, like, there's certain types of supplements that I will straight up be like, yo, they don't work, don't take them. Like, fat burners and testosterone boosters, I go, don't take them. I'm sorry, and whatever, we could get into that all day, but, like, I'm just like, nope, don't take them. Just listen, stay working out, eat better. Well, especially, like, listen, if you want to take that and you're already doing everything else, okay, maybe fine. Go do that. But if you're not doing shit else and you want to take a fat burner because you think you're going to drop 20 pounds in a week, it's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like people that I would, put them onto VMI, and then they'd be like, I haven't lost any weight, but I took this. And I'm like, did you go to the gym? They're like, no. I'm like,
did you change your diet?
You have to do something too, you know. But there are products out there that definitely enhance, the way you work in the gym, and they'll definitely help you.
Yeah, of course.
All legal stuff I'm talking about. But there are definitely things out there. I think creatine is great.
Oh, for sure.
Glutamine is great. There are products out there that definitely enhance my recovery. That help me out 100%.
Yeah.
But you also got to you can't take creatine and not go lift weights. Like, I mean, you could take it. It's great because your body produces it. But I'm saying, like, if you're trying to get a certain effect out of it, you got to actually train too.
Yeah.
So I feel like people think that they just rely on these things, and you have to do the work too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, of course. Like I said, people don't need everybody always says, "Oh, I need a stronger pre-workout." No, dude, you need heart. That's what you need.
Yeah,
pre-workout's great. Like,
yeah.
I love it. Listen, I'm a caffeine addict, but pre-workout's great. But like, you don't need more than like 450 milligrams of caffeine. Like,
I mean, I think the KXR is.
Hold on, our audio cut out. It's working? Oh. No. Okay. All right. So
I was gonna say KXR. That's a game. That's a game changer.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want caffeine, that's the one to go for.
Yeah. No, it's definitely KXR is a good one. It does have a lot of caffeine in it, and I do like it actually. The headphones are back now. For those of you, it's good. It must have just been a loose connection. You know what it was? After the one time, there was one time where the video cut out, and I was like, "Oh no, what happened?" But all right, we're good. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those of you who are listening, sorry about that minor interruption, but that's real life. Real life.
Yeah, it happens.
Life gets interrupted. But yeah, no. I knew a guy. This is true. He went to ProFit, and he used to be like. I remember he told Tom this. He was like, "Yeah, dude, I take 2 scoops of KXR before I work out," and I was like, "Bro, what the fuck?" I'm like, "Bro, no, absolutely not. Don't do that." And Tom said straight to his face, like, "Stop doing that.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Definitely do not do that.
No,
do not recommend that.
No, and that's the thing is like people are like, "Oh, if I take all this caffeine, it's gonna like give me some like crazy result in the gym." Like, no, it can actually like have the opposite effect. As you know, like taking too much caffeine and your adrenals and all this other stuff. Like, you need to recover too. And there's plenty of people, myself included, who don't get enough sleep. But sleep is a big part of your nutrition. And I find even me, like, I should get more sleep. And when I do get more sleep, like, I'm not only do my workouts better, but my recovery is much.
Oh, for sure.
My recovery is much better, and all this other stuff. And I'm a psycho. I'm always trying to do like other stuff. Like, I keep trying to convince myself at 41 years old I can like run, but I'm not. I don't know why I'm doing that to myself. But
you can run. You run, right? Do you run?
I run like an occasional 5K, like by myself. So
that's great.
No, it's not. I run so slow.
More than
Sarah,
me.
I run so slow. I can't even tell you. Like, so I'll go out. Like, my office is right by the West Side Highway, right by like in between us and Jersey. So the river's right there, and I'll run along the river for like 3 miles, 2.5 miles. But I'm so slow. Like, when I tell you, and it's not a cardiovascular related issue. Like, my heart rate's fine, my cardio's fine. My legs just cannot move faster. And I try because I'm like, my knees hurt so much just from like, I guess just years of abuse of like being overweight. Like, I cannot run. It's just, it's crazy.
Do you like it though? Do you want to run?
I don't know. Like, it's just a challenge.
Like, I just want to run.
It's a challenge for me. Like, it's just another challenge for me. Like, something I want to be able to like, hey, run a 5K eventually. Like, I used to not run at all. And what happened was, and I used to not run because like I was like, oh, I'm going to be terrible at it. This is going to be terrible. I'm not going to be able to do it, whatever. Because I never could do it. Even growing up, like, for me being an overweight, I was like overweight, like literally my whole life. That mile run in high school was like the fucking nightmare fuel forever. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't want to do this shit. This is terrible. I don't want to do it. Like, I got an F in gym class in my last year of gym because I didn't even go to gym. Like, I know if you're listening to this and like you see me, you're like, well, this is crazy. That this guy, even in the police academy, like, I fucking barely got through the gym because I was like a fucking bag of shit. Okay, like, seriously, the worst. Okay, I didn't start taking care of myself until, like, obviously you guys know, like, much later in life. But so this woman, she's a police widow, right? Her husband died in the line of duty, and she runs an organization, and she's like, hey, listen, I want you to come support this 5K. Come down. It's a 5K run walk and whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. So, I'm supporting it on social media and all this other stuff. And I said, I participate, right? So that day comes, day of the 5K, pouring fucking rain. It's in Brooklyn, Prospect Park. And I go there, and I'm late. I'm like 15 minutes late. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't even register. I had to register in person. So I registered in person. Now I'm 20 minutes late. And the woman hands me the bib with the number on it. And she's like, okay, listen, the results will be posted and whatever. And I'm like, I go with my name? She's like, yeah, with your name next to it. I'm like, And I planned on walking. I'm like, I cannot be in last place. Like, this is how I cannot be in last place. It would be so embarrassing to have my name on there. Like, people obviously like, know what I do for work.
Yeah.
People know what I do on social media. I'm like, I cannot be the last one. I can't be last. I'm going to have to try and run this shit. All right. And I ran it and I finished. I finished okay. Like, not great. Like, it wasn't like super fast. But no way. Every person I passed, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm not in last. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, and it felt good. So after that, I was so fucking, Sarah, I cannot tell you how sore I was after that.
Oh, yeah. It's a different type of sore.
Oh, my God. Yeah. But then I made a decision, like, I never want to feel that sore again. So I started running, I want to say, like, at that point, 2 times a week. I would just run and still not get any faster. And then, like, I stopped, I want to say, for like a month. And then, like, I'm getting back into it again. And because it's like 5K season, like every event that's coming up in the police department is like a 5K coming up, and I'm like, I want to be able to go, and I want to be able to actually just do the 5K and just like not be a bitch, you know, like that's what I'm
excited now to watch.
Yeah, why?
I
mean, I'm not competing. I am not competing. The only thing, listen, I'm not competing. I will never compete in bodybuilding. I will never compete in racing. I'll never do any of that stuff. But it's just not for me. I always thought of doing one of those transformation shows. I remember I told Nick
that would be awesome.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. We would have to, like, to me in my head is like, what would be the benefit or the point of doing it? Like, is the only
I get that. Yeah.
Like, who am I like genuinely, like, I don't have anything to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
And to me, what would that be? It would be a cool accomplishment, but I don't know. And obviously, like, the cost that it would cost to do that is a whole other thing.
It's so expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I didn't tell anybody when I was competing because I was just doing it for me.
Yeah.
I remember, I think Nick was like one of the only people I told. This was like my first show a couple of years ago. And I just was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. I'm going to be in a prep and I'm just not going to tell anyone. And I was on my way to the show. And then that night is when I was like, yeah, guys, I did a thing today or something. And everyone was like, what? You've been in prep for that long? I didn't want anyone knowing. I didn't even want anyone there. I hate that I did this, but I didn't even want my mom there. I was like, no one is coming to this show. Not a single person except me and my coach. That is it. I don't want people there. I don't want anyone I know there. I don't want anyone to know I'm going to be there just because I was doing it for me, you know? I wasn't doing it for any type of...
If they had those shows, like, local, I would probably do something like that. But they don't. It's like in, like, fucking Texas somewhere or, like, Florida. And, like... I could never get away with doing it myself because I would have to travel. Like, I'm married, so I'd have to let my wife know. Can't just disappear off the face of the planet for like a week and be like, oh my God, what happened to my husband? Like, he never came home, you know? Or, you know, my kids, like, no. Like, if it was local, I could see myself doing something like that too. Just like not telling a single fucking person and just like getting, like, doing it. But like, listen, it's cool. I just have no desire to like, to do that. I admire everybody who does though.
Oh, me too. I think it's awesome.
Like, you know, being surrounded by those people who do it and like just seeing people who are at the top of their craft. And this could be anything. I don't care if it's the gym, working out. I don't care if you're a baker or a photographer or something that you do. Like, being around somebody who's genuinely awesome at what they do. Like, I love that.
Me
like,
too.
I love just watching people who are good at their craft.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. What do you find are like the biggest challenges of being an athlete manager?
You know, I feel like just honestly probably being able to communicate with everybody and making sure everybody's, you know, always got the information they need. And I'm pretty good with it. I'll give myself credit. You know, this is my first like real position, you know. I really just got into this and it was just like Nick was with me and then he was like, all right, here's this platform, like, figure it out, bye. And I was like, okay. So I was up all night, like, trying to learn how to do this, like, researching, doing the best I could, which I was like, I got this. I'm doing this. Took me a while, a lot of tears to get it done, but I was like, I got this. We're going to get this done. So I grew the program as much as I could and it's still going. My goal is to really, like, you know, get it as big as possible and just build an awesome community there. So, yeah, I mean, I love it. I feel like the only real, I would say, struggle, I mean, I love everybody, is probably just getting to every single person and helping everybody. Because it'll be like, I'll always answer, but sometimes it's like, oh man, I forgot. I have to do this. I have to do this. It's just a lot of, you know, relationships, a lot of people that you got to manage type of thing.
Right. No, I like that before when you said you actually called these people and like talked to them before, like you took them on as an ambassador, because some people will literally just take anybody.
Oh
like,
no.
And that really affects like the brand quality and the messaging.
I totally agree with that. I would, when I started there, that wasn't even like told to me. That was something I just did organically because I was like, why would I want somebody on this team that's not going to be a team player or that's not going to be honest? So let me take the 2 minutes, and they put in the application, their phone number's there anyway. Let me just shoot them a text or shoot them a call, just so they feel like it's more personable too. You know, and I've heard a lot of supplement companies, not saying any specific names, but you know, they sign these people and then they just forget they exist, or they just never communicate with them. And I just find that to be so crazy, because it's like, you know, you're trying to build a community and trying to tell people their family, and then you sign them and then you just forget they exist. Like, what kind of family is that?
Yeah,
you know?
It's so funny. I have a story about a supplement company. This is the craziest. This is a funny story. So I had like pretty much been like non-existent in a company for a while, and then all of a sudden I get a phone call on my phone from somebody. I picked it up by mistake. All right. They're like, hey, this is so-and-so from whatever. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, listen, you know, because for some reason, like, I'm still listed as like part of this company, and I have no idea why that exists, why that happens. But so I'm like, okay. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, listen, I just want to, we haven't talked in a while. I just want to help you reach your goals. So my immediate response goes, what are they? What are my goals? Tell me. And he's just like dead stop. Yeah. Because he didn't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, how would he know your goals?
And I hung up on the phone on him. It's like, dude, don't bullshit me. I hate that. Like, okay, like, dude, don't pretend to know who I am. Yeah. Or if you're going to say some shit like that, at least know what my goals are.
Yeah. I mean, that's impossible.
It was like so nuts, such a nuts conversation that I was just like, whatever. Like, you know me, I do my own thing. Like, I support people I like, and you know, whatever else. But it was just such a funny conversation. So that's why it's important to actually keep track and like know who these people are, know what they're going through, know what their goals are. Know, even know what products they use.
100%. That's why I asked, what gym do you go to? Where do you live? You know, like just a few questions. And then, you know, I've had girls come on that are like, I'm afraid to compete. Like, I've never done this. And then I'll connect them with somebody that's a coach, like from the team. So it's good to know what these people do, you know, because you can connect people and build friendships. I mean, I've watched so many of my ambassadors become like best friends just from being on the team. And I think that's great. And I love seeing everybody, you know, at Bev's, you know, at these gyms, like supporting each other, lifting each other up, that are my ambassadors. Or, oh, you're with VMI? Oh, I'm with VMI. Like, do you need help with that set? Like, oh, you need a spot? I think that's the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, that's cool. Building community is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Like, and genuinely, like, I think in the world, that's what people are looking for anyway. Everybody feels so isolated now. They don't know what to do. You either could like try and join a good community, like a gym community, or like whether it be a supplement company or not, or you could join some other type of group that's just like full of negative, miserable assholes.
Oh, yeah,
like, it's good. It's good that like you're, you know, honestly providing a community for people to like actually like, even though like whatever. Yes, obviously it's surrounded around a company and like products and whatever. Yeah. But I think that community is what's missing in a lot of things, and I think people really need that sense of community. Like if you're getting into it for that sense of community, good. If you're getting into it just to like be like, hey, look at me, I'm cool, I have a discount code.
Yeah, no, I can't.
And there's people who do that. I'm sure that you deal with that a lot.
Oh well, no, I can't deal with that. Yeah, I will not. I see right through that.
All right,
I can't have you be like, oh, can I just have the code for my bio? That is like,
people have said that.
Oh, I've had that before. Yeah, I've had some crazy messages.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, so no.
Oh, can I just get a code? No.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Or like they're currently with like, you can go through their page and be like, oh, last week they were with this company, and then the week before that they were with that company, and then they were like, no.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yeah, I've seen it all.
Yeah,
but
no, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's super fun. I love it. You know, I feel like going from that, you know, the personal training and building community there, and then coming to this, it's like like more higher like of a scale. I think it's awesome. I love this. This is definitely, you know, I say it's meant for me. I love building that community. I love making people happy. I love being like that positive vibe for people to look to and be able to call. I mean, I've become best friends with some of these people on the team. Like, look at me and Francesca. I didn't even know her before I started VMI, and now we're talking all the time.
Yeah.
So
that video, the two of you, is like absolutely. I don't know how I guess I was on vacation. I didn't get it until like yesterday. I was like, oh my god, that is so great. Yeah, so funny. Yeah.
Yes, but stuff will happen like that. I'll get a text like, hey, you want to make this video outside? I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
You know, so cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. For those people who also want to listen, dude, just ask somebody to take your video in the gym too. Like, you build a relationship like that. Everybody's afraid of everything. Yeah. All right. And yeah, I'm sure you get that a lot. Like, people who want to come on as an ambassador, like, well, what do I do? Who do I like? I have built more relationships with people in the gym, asking them to like either spot me or like take a video for me or take a photo for me, or vice versa. Like they asked me to take a photo or a video of them. Now I'm in a relationship with them. Like,
yeah,
I've built such connections with them because, like, yo, we're all trying to do like essentially the same thing. Yeah. So like, don't be afraid of that. It's
Yeah.
What advice would you have for somebody who's like, hey, listen, I really like VMI, or I really like this company. Let's say it's not even VMI. Let's say it's another company, and they want to be a brand ambassador. Like, how would they approach being a brand ambassador?
I feel like, well, if they were coming to me, I would say, give me a call or shoot me a text and tell me why. Why do you want to represent this brand? They really have to obviously take the products first. That's a big thing. I would say, be a team player. I'm huge on that. You have to be able to talk to your teammates, engage with their stuff, at least find somebody on the team and, have a conversation with them. I don't like when people will come on and then they'll just sit in the chat and not say anything. I always say, like,
sorry,
be outgoing. Yeah. When was the last time you answered in the chat?
Honestly, because I have my WhatsApp DMs like on mute. You got to. I'm gonna open it.
You know what? Just open it right now and say hey to the group chat.
I'm gonna do that right now. Hold on a second. I have to find WhatsApp on my thing. You ready? Hold on. I'm gonna show you this right now. Agree and continue because I haven't been. Oh my God! What the?
You're
heck
not even logged in.
I'm not even logged in.
Yeah,
retrieving my credentials. This is how long
this
it's been
is a great brand ambassador right here.
Yeah. I'm terrible. I have to put my name in. This is insane. Name in, putting my name in. All right, you ready? How many messages do I have?
I'm gonna guess like 5,000.
Only 41 from VMI though. I'm just gonna say, hey everyone, you ready? Hey everyone. That's it. Boom. Hey everyone. Oh, there's like so many people that got it. See, like I'm crazy.
Yeah, there's so many new people.
And it must have been because like I clicked on it and scrolled through at one point and like real quick to like because I have ADD when it comes to having outstanding notifications. So I must have logged in. But like I have 5 group texts on there that I never like literally I never answer. I never go. I always forget to go on there.
Yeah.
Because I don't have my notifications on. Because if I had my notifications on, it would be going off every 5 fucking seconds. And I can't.
It's a lot. I
have group texts that I'm in, even on my phone, that I have muted because I just can't. Yeah. Especially like if you're in the gym, and this is something that I noticed, my old headphones used to not do this. My new ones, they're great. All right, but I put them on. If I get a text on my phone, it will read the fucking text to me while I'm working out.
You're like, I don't care.
It's like text from Laura. Laura said, I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Like, and listen, Laura, I love you, all right, to death. But like, I'm working out. I don't want to hear it. And hers I could deal with because it's like usually just one. But like, let's say somebody at my job in my work group texts like, hey, happy Easter, everybody. Then it's like, bang, bang. I'm like, oh my, I can't do it. So I have to mute all the ones that they get into. So that's why I don't have it on.
Yeah. But that's also another challenge that I face too. Some people turn off the notifications and then you have me and I'm like finding who it is and I'm texting. I'm like, hey, what's up? I won't bother you. But I am like that, if you're on the team, like I want you to be involved.
Good.
But yeah, and also the different time zones is definitely a struggle for me too. Because I'll be sleeping sometimes and I'll be like, hey, can you change my discount code? Or hey, can you send me that Protolite? And I'm like, it's literally 3 in the morning, so it's like nonstop.
You have to remind people, be like, hey, listen, just so you know, we're on East Coast time. Are most of the brand ambassadors from our area?
Yeah, I would say most of them are, but as the team is growing, it's definitely starting to, be from all over. So I will get those texts, at 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. But I love my job, so I'm just going with it. I love what I do. I love talking to people. So if I don't get back to them right away, I'll wake up in the morning. I'll just be like, hey, just a reminder. Like, I'm East Coast, so like, sorry. But I'll get you that. But yeah, that's a challenge for sure.
What are some other challenges that you think of?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but definitely like keeping up with the trends and stuff. Trying to find the new stuff so people don't get bored for social media because I'm also, I also help with that part. So I'm trying to find new trends every day and I'm trying to, be like, oh, this is a good idea. Let's do this with this or this with this. So it's just coming up with those ideas and just actually putting them into play type of thing.
What social media trend right now do you think is like currently good or working?
Definitely that protein one. Because that's actually a TikTok trend, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yeah. So what I found that TikTok and it was about like powdered donuts.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, who took my powdered donuts? And it like blew up. And I was like, let's do it with protein powder, So I've never seen one of those videos before, but I was like, this would be a good idea. So kind of just like thinking on the spot, like those are, it's hard, but I enjoy it, and I'm getting better at it as time goes on, which is great. But that was definitely hard when I first got there, because I was like, I'm scared to do this. Like, do you think this is going to work? It's more of like, just do it.
Experimentation.
You have to experiment. You have to put out trial and error, really.
You really have no idea. Like, you know who Rick Rubin is?
No.
Okay. Rick Rubin's like one of the like biggest music producers of all time. He produced like a lot of music acts in like the 90s, still produces. You've definitely seen him before. He's like an older guy with a beard. But he said like the audience doesn't even know what it wants. So like if you so if you ask them, they'll tell you something and it's not, they don't even know. So like you come out with like some type of music that like the audience didn't even know that they wanted it. Yeah. Right? And I think social media sometimes is the same way, where like you might think that, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be, and they have no idea what they want. So they'll be like, oh, you know what? This does like, it's just so random. Yeah. You know, it really is. Just
it's all about trying new things. That's why you have to try new things too, because you can't just post the same exact thing over and over again, because it's like, you know, especially as a supplement company, I feel like, you know, your audience is so large. There's so many variations to it. You know, you have older people, younger people, boys, girls, you know, it's so, you know, there's so many people that are trying to take the product for different reasons. Yeah. So you can't just be like, okay, guys, let's post a picture of, you know, Protolite. And like, you know, like you have to do oh, you know, like these people, this generation would think this is funny. Let's do this today. And like next week, you know, like this would really attract the older, you know, group. So let's do this. So it's all about trying different things and attracting different audiences.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that like, especially supplement companies miss a lot, is like they don't realize that they have more than one audience.
Exactly.
Right? And like, it's mostly marketed towards like younger people, obviously, because like the biggest sellers have always the pre-workouts. Of course. Oh yeah. So like it's marketed towards that, but like older people, like people who are just, you know, like I don't know, just into fitness, like not interested in being an IFBB pro, or not interested in whatever, they like miss out almost on, you know, that demographic a little bit, because they're not making they're really honestly, a lot of them not making content for those people. Right. You know. What else was I going to ask you about? Yeah, so let's just go back for a minute. Like when you talked about, like, this is going way back, starting your fitness journey in the gym, right? There's a lot of people out there, especially women, who are listening to this. What advice would you have for the, you know, whether it be the young girl or the woman who's trying to start out in the gym, especially about when it comes to being intimidated by going to the gym or starting a workout program? Yeah,
I would say number one, like my biggest mistake, and this you cannot do not compare yourself to other people. That is like the number one thing. You are going to the gym for yourself, not to be like her, not to be like her, not to be like her. And that's how I started. And that right when I like got away from that, that was when I felt my most successful in the gym, because I was like, oh, you know, this works for my body. If, you know, Sally does this for her eating routine, don't follow it because you want to look like her. Everybody's body is different. You have to recognize, you know, everybody's different. You're there for yourself. You have your own personal goals. You're your own person. That is huge. I think that is, you know, a lot of people don't see that. They like to compare themselves to other people. Can't do that. And also just getting into it. You just have to start. I always say, like, just do it. I know a lot of people that stand on the treadmill and stay on the treadmill because they're intimidated to go to the weight area. Yeah. Because I was one of those people.
Even me as a guy, like same thing, yeah.
You got to get off the treadmill. Yeah. Get off the treadmill and just go over there. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I mean, I'm not even kidding. There was a girl that was, you know, giving me like a weird look the other day. And I always give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to say she's giving me a dirty look. Just giving me a weird look. And I went right up to her, and she was having a problem with the bench. She couldn't get it, and she was giving me a weird look before that. And most girls would be like, you know what, fuck her. You know, she gave me she gave me a look. I went right up to her and I helped her fix the bench, because, you know, I've been there before, and I used to give people, you know, looks and stuff because I felt insecure about myself. Yes. So I went up to her and I helped her, you know, fix the bench, and she turned around and she's like, oh my gosh, I love your nails. I love your hair. I love your shoe. And then we got into this conversation, and, you know, we started talking. Now every time we go, we say hi to each other. You know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't get intimidated by other people and then, you know, take it out on them. You know what I'm saying? just be happy, go in there and just do your thing. If you look dumb, you look dumb, you know,
Yeah,
like you got to,
we all started
I
out
look dumb every day probably.
Yeah, I still do.
Yeah.
We all look dumb.
Yeah,
we all make mistakes, especially at the beginning. Like you're not going to be a pro out the gate. You're going to fuck things up at the beginning.
I'm still screwing things up. And Nick tells me my form
too.
sucks all the time. I'm like, dude, no, it doesn't. Your form sucks. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Just kidding. But no, you know, you just got to go. You just got to do it. Mm-hmm. You got to start somewhere.
You have to do it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of women are intimidated by the weights too. Like, there's so many health benefits that you're missing out on. Like, I'm not even talking about physique, whatever, but like, you're definitely missing out on that. And people don't realize, like, and back to women again, is like, they have this idea of like the cardio, like, oh, I'm just going to do a ton of cardio and drop a lot of weight and like starve myself, and like, you're never going to be happy with the results that come of that. Like, it's just, no, never.
No.
It's not going to happen.
You can't starve yourself.
You can't starve yourself. You have to eat food.
You have to.
You have to eat food. You have to develop a better relationship with food. And you have to start like doing some type of weight training.
Yeah. You have to listen to your body. And another thing I always hear from when I first started doing my personal training, I'd actually have girls come in there and be like, this is when I was like shredded before I went on stage. And they'd be like, I want to like work out and get toned and lift weights, but I don't want to look like you. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you very much. But you're not going to get like that unless you're literally like on a strict like prep. Like, I was like, guys, the only reason I look like this right now is because I'm trying to look like this right now. You know, right now I look like a normal person and you're a typical girl because I'm, you know, in my off season, I'm not trying to be peeled. So I tried to explain that, and I feel like a lot of girls think that lifting weights is going to make them look manly or buff or like, you know, peeled. Social
media has a huge problem with that, is because, and I brought this up in the post that I made yesterday, is because what people do, like everybody does, everybody in the fitness industry does this, is like they'll get super peeled for a show, like they'll get super lean, not to mention that they're doing a ton of other drugs or whatever else, okay? They will have a photo shoot where they have like 47 different outfit changes, and they'll take 3,000 photos, and then they'll post those photos for the rest of the year, and people will think like that they look like that all year.
No,
they don't look like that. They do not look like that all year, and we could both attest to this. We both see these same people. They do not look like that all year, and it is hard to look like that. Like,
I mean, listen, I'm one of those people. When I was prepping, I was lean. I was peeled. I had an 8-pack. Now, I mean, nothing. There's no pack there, like nothing. Yeah. But that's why I post me eating too and stuff. And I've noticed when I actually posted on my story, I did a poll once, and I was like, what do you guys want to see more of? I did it once. And a lot of people clicked, like they wanted to see what I eat, like more food stuff. And I feel like because majority of my audience is actually more female, because me and Nick looked into it the other day, like 70% of my audience is girls. And I feel like, you know, a lot of people get nervous to eat when, you know, they see me when I'm peeled, and they're like, how do you eat like that? You know, you can't be peeled like that year round. No. It is so unhealthy. It's not realistic.
Yeah, it's, you know, completely, it's so unhealthy to be that ripped all year.
No, and no one is. If you really are doing it right, like you're not peeled 24/7. There's no way. You know, you have to have that proper off season for your nutrition, your mental health too, not just your physical. So I always try to post me eating cookies and stuff just to show people, like, guys, you know, it's fine sometimes. Like, just do it.
Yeah. No, I think it is important, and that's the hardest part. Is there's just so much not stigma, but like negative lies out there about like what people should be eating, or people will only post what they're eating during prep, right? And they'll be like, "Hey, look at me! I'm eating 6 ounces of chicken and like 4 ounces of rice here," and they won't show what they eat like the rest of the time. And people who aren't even in prep, people who are just like, let's say they're overweight and they want to lose weight, they'll see a bodybuilder who's dieting for prep, and even bodybuilders who are coaches will tell people to eat like this, and it's so fucked up. But like they eat the same way that they do when they're going through prep. It's like, dude, like no, like that. You don't need to do that. You can eat like regular food. You do not have to. And if you are just trying to lose weight, if you're just trying to get in better shape, if you're just trying to like get better mental health, like you don't need to eat the diet of somebody who's trying to get on stage.
Oh no, definitely
not even close. Not even close to that. But for some reason, people they do that because that's what they see on social media, even before social media, magazines, videos, whatever. But you don't need to eat like that. You can enjoy your life. listen, like I said before, you're an adult. You know what you're doing. You know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing.
Oh, 100%.
You just need to do a little bit better and make it a sustainable lifestyle. I never stopped eating pizza or cheeseburgers or fucking any of that stuff, like drinking beers. I maybe for like a little while I didn't really drink alcohol that much, but even now, like I have a couple. I don't go out and get drunk and like whatever. Like you just monitor yourself. Like what you should be doing, what you should be doing. It's just a matter of actually doing that and like making it a lifestyle.
For sure. Yeah. Listening to your body too. And there are times like, I'm obviously following a plan. I mean, I'm eating like over 3,000 calories right now, but I'm trying.
Hold on, time out.
Yeah.
You're eating over 3,000 calories. How tall are you?
I'm 5'2".
How much do you weigh?
Honestly, I would say probably 130 pounds right now.
Yeah.
135 maybe. I'm probably going to finish this, like reverse it. I'm only have 4 weeks left.
So 3,000 calories.
Yeah.
So you're going to reverse. You're going to go up in calories.
Probably a few more, yeah. Probably like 2 more times, maybe 1 more time.
So what do you think your calories will top out at?
Probably like 3,500.
See, I want everybody to listen to this and hear this. Everybody who's watching this out there, this is what I want you to know. I want you to know this. Eat food. Eat food.
No, you got to eat.
Women, eat food. Okay? Like,
yeah,
seriously.
you have to eat. I mean... Yes, I have a little bit of stomach fat right now, but I'm trying to put on size to compete.
Yeah.
But I'm still I'm in shape. I'm in the gym. I'm working hard, and I feel fantastic right now. I feel great. And when I tell people, like, yeah, I'm eating like almost like 500 carbs a day, they're like, I don't eat carbs. I'm like, no, don't do it. I'm like, no, you got to eat carbs. You have to. I mean, I'm not asking you to eat 500 because it is crazy. Sometimes I'm like, I don't want any more. Like, I'm trying to grow, but I have to. But eat. You got to eat. Me and Nick house burgers. Yeah. It's gross. He thinks it. He probably thinks it's disgusting. We eat burgers, pizza. We're eating burritos, cookies. I mean, I'm not saying do that all the time, but a couple times a week we want to play around. We play around right now. Like, why not? We're in the gym. We work hard. We want to enjoy our life. You know. So it's super important that you enjoy your life and understand. Your body is meant to be fueled. That's what it's like a car. You got to put gas in it. You got to put gas in the tank. Yeah. You have to put gasoline into your body in order to move. And that was like what I didn't understand. Yeah. When my body was breaking down, I was always like, why? Right when I started eating and feeding myself, I was like, oh, okay, I feel great. Yeah. So you need that, Yeah.
And it's funny, like you say, 500 grams of carbs, 3,000 calories. I know guys who work out in the gym, and we know this person too together. I'm not going to mention him on the air. He'll be like, yo, I'm on 1,200 calories right now, 50 grams of carbs, yo, no carb day today. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
But what's fucked up though is like there's somebody telling him to do that.
I know.
And it's not him. And it's not him like coming up with that on his own. It's somebody telling him to do that, and that's fucked up. And it's just so screwed up. You have to eat, all right? And people have to remember, like, and this is also the importance of lifting weights. The more, like, when you lift weights and build muscle, the more you'll be able to eat, and the bigger range you'll be able to have, and like how much food you eat, because you're burning essentially more calories, but based on the amount of muscle that you have. And men, women, both, like, the muscle that you build is actually what's going to determine what the structure of your body looks like. That quote unquote toned look that you're looking for. There's no fucking such thing as toning.
No.
Our body can do two things: gain and lose muscle, and gain and lose fat. That's all it can do. So like, the leaner that you get, the more you'll see your muscles, the bigger the muscles that you have, and whatever. Same thing. Like, I try to tell this, and this is a hard thing to tell women sometimes. They're like, oh, I want a thinner waist, and like, whatever. It's like, okay, well, then you have to get a bigger back.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, wait, what do you mean I have to get a bigger back?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because it's an optical illusion.
Yeah.
People do not realize that it's an optical illusion. If you train your back, you get a little bit of a bigger back, bigger shoulders, a little bit. Like, I'm not saying like be absolutely fucking out of control, gigantic. Like, and in order for a woman to get out of control, gigantic, right? We all know what's going on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But to build it a little bit better, a little bit more muscle, create that optical illusion where you have a thinner waist, it works for men too. Same thing. Like, I don't think my waist has really changed that much. I mean, it has, but like, I want to say over like the last year or two, my waist has definitely not changed. It's been exactly the same, but my waist looks thinner because I have bigger shoulders and like bigger legs. Like, that's how it is. Like, you have to do that.
That was a fight that I got into with a lot of my girls when I was training. So I was like, all right, guys, we're going to hit back today. Like, we're going to do a little bit of upper body, like nothing crazy, but I'm not doing upper body. I'm like, well, like, why? They're like, well, I'm trying to work on my waist. Like, I want my waist to be smaller. Like, why are we not doing abs? And I'm like, all right, we got to sit down. Like, you guys don't need to do abs. They're like, can we do core? Can we do this? It's, you know, it's sad too, because a lot of people don't understand. And even if you like are like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to work abs. I had girls that were coming to me that were working abs 7 days a week. I'm like, why are you doing that? Well, because then I'm going to have abs. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. You know, you gotta, it's not how it works. You gotta, you know, properly eat right. You know, if you really want to see the abs, I'm like, everybody has them. I tried to explain that to someone the other day. I was like, he's like, should I do abs if I want more abs? I'm like, are you eating right? Like, are you eating okay? No, I just want abs. I'm like,
yeah, it doesn't work.
No, that's not how it works. Yeah.
There's that famous quote, like, abs are made in the kitchen. It's 100%. It's like 100% true. And people don't get it. Like, the only way, like, you want to build a chest, right? You go, you do some bench press, maybe, you know, you do hypertrophy exercises where, okay, like 8 to whatever, 15 reps, whatever, right? Your abs would work the same way, right? That's why they have those machines where, like, you put weights on them and, like, you do crunches with weights, because, like, you're trying to build them the same way. But they don't even grow that much even when you do that. Like, no. Most people that I'm being serious here, like, most people I know, even people I know that compete, don't train abs at all.
I haven't trained abs in 2 years.
Right.
2 years.
Yeah.
If you go on my Instagram when I'm peeled, look at my abs. I haven't trained abs in 2 years.
Yeah, zero. People do zero ab training. Your core. Listen, if you want to, like, do that for core stability and do planks and, like, just for overall stability, and okay, cool, great. But if you think that you're gonna do 1,000 sit-ups a day and you see abs, it's not gonna. It's 100%. I'm still waiting to see abs. All right.
Yeah, right now, me too. I do my vacuums and stuff like that, but that's it. I'm not doing, like, crunches and, like, leg ups. And I mean, I did it in my classes because the girls love doing it. They enjoyed that part of the workout.
And it's good for stability and, like, actual overall, like, to help you just get, like, literally sit up and down, get up off the floor, like, actual functional stuff. But, like, if you're trying to see your abs, like, that's not the way. It's not gonna happen.
No. There's a lot of things that a lot of myths that people say. I used to have a lot of girls come to me and be like, can we get rid of this? Yeah. That was, like, a major thing that I had. And I'm like, all right, like, let's get rid of it. But, you know, like, are you eating right? Are you doing the things like, well, we're doing arms, so why is it not gone? And I'm like, are you doing the proper things on your own? Are you doing things at home? Because I only seen these girls for 2 days a week maybe. And then I'm like, well, what are you doing on your own, you know? But then I'll have some girls that really followed directions and, like, did everything, and then they seen serious progress. And then I had girls come to me that, like, I knew that they weren't following direction.
Yeah, of course not.
They would come to me and they'd be like, it's your fault that I look the same. And I'd be like, did you do what you were supposed to do that I told you to do at home? And then they're like, well, last night, you know, he came over and we had this. And then 2 nights before that, it was this and this's birthday. And I'm like, God, it's not my fault.
Right, exactly.
You know? So it's, you know, you gotta be disciplined, determined. There's always something that's going to stand in your way. There's always a reason to not do the work, and there's always a reason to eat like shit. There is. I look at work environments. I mean, yours is probably a little bit different. You work at a supplement company, but, like, for me at work, it's always somebody's birthday. It's always some reason to celebrate. Somebody's always getting promoted. Something always happens. Somebody's always dropping off foods for donor. There's always a reason to eat like shit. And there's people that I work with that do, and there's people that I work with that don't. And, like, I used to have this thing where, like, I thought that I had to eat that way, you know, I had to eat like shit all the time, and I had to celebrate everything, and I had to go out and celebrate with food, and you don't. You can choose, pick and choose. And listen, I celebrate every holiday. I eat on Christmas, I eat on Thanksgiving, I eat on whatever when I go away on vacation to a certain extent, right? But, like, you don't have to eat like that every day. No.
Like, people eat like every day, like they're never gonna see food again. You know?
You don't have to eat clean every day, and you don't have to eat like shit every day. You know, it's, you know, you just have that balance. Me and Nick are going on vacation, and I'm not packing any meals. I'm not gonna, you know, back in the day I would have packed all my things and whatever. But, like, you know, I'm not in prep right now. You know, I'm not competing. Why would I pack all my meals? Like, you know, let me enjoy, you know, other foods, try different things, you know. You don't have to be so strict every single day. It's going to drive you crazy.
What are some other things, like rumors, especially when it comes to women in fitness, that they come to you with that you have to pretty much correct?
Creatine, major. I'm not taking that because I'm going to get bloated. That's not going to happen. Definitely not going to happen. If anything, it's going to benefit you. That's a major one. Protein. A lot of girls didn't want to take protein either because they were like, you know, eat a lot more protein. I'll be like, increase your protein, like try and, you know, get your protein in. I can't eat more protein. I'm going to get jacked. It's actually just crazy because you think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. But a lot of these people think that's actually true, you know, and carbs too. That was so bad. I had so many different things. People would be like, I took out all my carbs for like, you know, like 3 weeks. And then, you know, I went to one birthday party and now I'm the same way I am. I'm like, that's because that's life. You can't just cut things out and then expect to have it one day and then everything be fine. Yeah. You know, you can't. That's why you have to eat in moderation. You always have to have carbs. You always have to have those fats. You always have to have protein. You have to have all those sources, because one day, yeah, if you do go to that birthday party and decide, oh, just kidding, I don't want to not do the no carb thing anymore, and you eat all those carbs and you do it again the next day, you're done. You're right back to where you were. And I think that was a major problem with a lot of my clients, because they would get upset about that and they would get very discouraged. And I'm like, guys, I told you, don't cut the carbs. And then I had other people that were on high fat diet and high carb diet, no fat. It was just like crazy. These things that people are doing, these fad diets. And I'm like, that doesn't work. Don't do that. And I had someone that actually went to the hospital from doing the no carb one time that I knew. Yeah. And they were like, you know, my body just didn't have enough like carbs, energy. And I'm like, yeah, like you need that, you know? So people don't fuel their bodies properly, and they believe the things they see online, these diets and stuff. That was huge. It's not that. It's about what your body requires. Everybody's body requires a different amount of things. You need to do fats, proteins, carbs. You need to have all of those things.
No, you really do.
They're so important.
Yeah, carbs is just like, people love to go no carb all the time. Like, oh, cutting carbs. It's like, dude, first of all, and I always say this to people, like, you know, your muscles look flat and like you look like a bag of milk, essentially, right? And like, you shouldn't look like that. The second you add carbs into your body, like your muscles like look fuller, you'll feel better. Energy, forget it. Like, that's a whole other issue. But people cut out the carbs and they don't realize that when they step on that scale after cutting out carbs and it goes down, it's just all water.
Yeah, like that's all it is.
That's why when you eat carbs again, you'll suck it right back up. And
and that's why you're going to gain all that weight back on the scale. That was also another thing, the scale. That was a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like,
people should throw their scale in the garbage.
Throw it out. That's why when you said how much you weigh, I'm like, I don't know. Right. Like, I just guess.
Right now, same thing. I have no idea how much I weigh right now.
Yeah, I'm just guessing.
I usually hover around, like, if I'm like really strict, like I would love to be like 240. Yeah. But like right now, I'm probably like 265. Like, that's usually what I'm around. But like, I don't pay attention at all, really, anymore.
Me neither. It's well, for me, it's about how my check-ins look, how my how I look in the mirror. You know, if the scale says 150 pounds right now and I look fine, I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, what, like, you know, so there's no point stepping on it anyway, because that number it's going to fluctuate. And then I had girls that would be like, yesterday I was 116 pounds and today I'm 118. Why are you doing this? What did I do wrong? And I'm like, did you go to the bathroom? Like, you know, there's like certain things like that people just think your body's going to stay exactly the same. And, you know, it's a body, you know, there's different things going on in there. You have to go to the bathroom, how much water you drink, how much salt that you took it, you know, there's so many factors into how you could gain 2 pounds in one night. It's not a big deal.
It's really not a big deal at all. No. If you gain like 30 pounds in one night, then you probably got to go to the hospital.
Then that's a problem. That's a problem.
Yeah, but like a couple pounds, even I tell people this all the time, is like when I was like really, really being strict during the week or whatever, even now probably, I haven't done it because I haven't been on the scale in a while, is if I were to be strict all week and then like, let's say I would have a cheat meal or two, right? Like on a Saturday, and then I weigh myself the next day, and then people think that I'm like totally lying when I say this number, the scale would go up like 12 to 15 pounds. 12 to 15 pounds after one day. Yeah. And it's just obviously all water, sodium, all this other stuff. But like, it would, by the end of the week, it'd be gone.
Yeah,
again. Like,
it'll go back
no big deal. But like, people really need to recognize that like eating foods or like with the scale is not the determinant thing. Like,
no.
The scale is such a like almost inhibitor. Yeah. Especially at the beginning. Look at how you look. Take progress photos. Progress photos is huge, because a lot of times you're used to seeing yourself in the mirror every single day, so you're gonna look the same to yourself. Especially like body dysmorphia kicks in. You're like, oh my god, I still look like shit. And meanwhile, you don't. Look at those first photos that you took. Exactly. You look a lot better. Look at how your clothes feel. Feel how your clothes feel. That's definitely a huge one. Huge. And like that, and how you feel. How you feel. Yeah. And that's it. Like. The scale, okay, cool. Like, I really genuinely think at the beginning it's more of an inhibitor than it is a tool.
You don't need a scale to dictate how you feel and look. I mean, it just doesn't it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I use it here and there just to step on it, obviously, because I compete. But with my coach, because of my eating disorder in the past, we started 3 years ago when I started with her. I never wanted to step on the scale. So it only was progress pictures because that was what worked for me. Yeah. So now here and there I'll step on because I don't care that much anymore because I know how it works. But until I had that knowledge, it was just like, let's just take a progress picture every week and, let's see how it progresses. Now I actually I did it this morning. I take my progress picture I take it every Saturday. I take my check-in. I actually look back to how I was last year, and that's how I'll compare, Like you said, like, look at how you used to look at how you are now. And I'm like, wow, okay, great. This is awesome. Yeah. So. Because
sometimes even in my head, like, even like when I'm fucking around, I'm not doing that great. Like, I'm thinking, even though I haven't stepped on a scale, I'm like, man, in my head, I'll be like, I fucking look like shit, right? So, like, I have to, like, take photos of myself, too, to, like, be like, okay, you know what? Okay.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like,
I tell Nick to take them too, and he doesn't compete. I tell him take the pictures.
You should. No, this isn't about competing.
Yeah,
this is for everybody.
Everyone should take pictures.
Everybody
Don't worry about this.
And I know it feels uncomfortable. I would never take a picture of myself. You don't need to show it to anybody. Just have it in your phone.
Keep it. I have a separate album for mine. I don't want that stuff in my camera roll. So I just keep it in a separate album, and I'll look back when I have to. I think that's so important. So important to see where you started. Always remember where you started too, because a lot of people don't do that. They'll be like, I look like shit. And I'm like, okay, well, how did you look 2 years ago? Yeah. That's a major thing for me, because my eating disorder definitely stunted where I was at. I could have been way more, advanced, I feel like, for what I want. But I look back to a couple of years ago and I'm like, okay, yeah, I made a change. Like, this is good. This is good. We're going up. Yeah. A lot of people don't do that. I think that's super important. So,
what other tips do you have for people who are just starting out, like women specifically?
Women specifically. I would say just that intimidation thing. Don't be intimidated. Just you got to go in there. You got to just start. Don't follow these fad diets. That's a huge thing. Other than that, and don't give people dirty looks. Just be nice to people.
Be nice to people.
Just be nice.
Yeah. Now, when obviously you had the whole eating disorder thing, you started a benefit.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which this would be my third year if I did it again, which I think
we're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on it. We want to kind of do it together, which I think is such a cool idea. But yeah, that was actually because I don't know what even made me think of that, but I was just like, you know what? I have this small group of girls. Let me do like a fun night, but let me think of a reason why. Let's do it and raise money for National Eating Disorder Association. So, I started to get really into that. I started to actually do the walks for the eating disorders.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I started to get into it. And then I was like, let me rent out, this venue and let's just like sell tickets and see where it gets me. Dude, that first event that was not the one you went to. I had like 200 people show up to that. And I was like, whoa. And that's awesome. Raised a great amount of money. Obviously, we had to pay for the cost of the place, the DJ, all the food. A lot of the stuff got donated, though. The food did get donated, which was awesome. A lot of things did. People are great. But, we donated a great amount of money, and everyone had a great time. It was just like a fun thing to do for a good cause, and I was like, let's do it again next year. So I did it again, and then it was a great turnout again. And then I asked you to come speak because I wanted to start getting speakers there and just trying to I don't know.
I was legitimately so nervous too.
You did awesome. Everyone was actually talking about that speech for weeks.
And you told me that I didn't believe you. Weeks. I still don't believe you.
I think it was great. Everyone was talking about it for weeks, and I think it was one of the best things I ever came up with doing was these events. And it would be silly if I didn't do it again. I wasn't going to because then I was like, should I? Who's actually going to show up this year? Type of thing.
It's one of those things. Like, okay, let's say like 10 people show up.
Still,
like, who cares? Yeah. It would still be a good thing. It would still be a good time. You still did something. You're still doing something when nobody's doing fucking anything, right?
Yeah,
most people don't do shit. Most people just talk about it and don't do it. And whatever. Yeah. So, what plans do you have for the future?
With the events or just in general?
In general.
All right. So. I'm gonna be rich. I'm kidding. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be, yeah.
Of course. I hope so.
No, but I'm hoping to step on stage probably in October again. Okay. October, November. They actually came out with for the NPC like a natural division, like a natural now you can compete natural, basically, and get your pro card naturally, which is really cool for me. I just find that to be awesome because now I can, I mean, either way, you know, I don't want to get into that right now, but if you know, I would just love to be stepping on a natural stage because, you know, I'm afraid to take Tylenol. So for me, I would love to be on a natural stage. You know, I probably say this, I'm not going to say it's my last ever show, but I was going in with the intention of like, this is my last hurrah, probably. You know, I don't think it's in my future. A lot of people are trying to go to the Olympia, trying to get, you know, I would love to get my pro card. Don't get me wrong. I would love to go to the Olympia. But, you know, I also want to start a family. I want to like do stuff like that. And, you know, I want to enjoy my life and not always be like, oh, I have to lift this much and my back hurts because I want to get this bit like for this day. I just, part of me is like, all right, and you did this a few times. Like, let's try and go out with a bang here. You took a 2-year off season from this just to grow and, you know, really fit the category. Like, let's just go out there and do the best we can and see what happens. And then from there, to be honest, I want to focus on my career a lot. I really want to put my whole headset there. I'm obviously going to always have the gym. I'll go there all the time still every day, but I really want to, you know, focus on my career and grow my career as much as I can. I love what I do and I just want to really discover like every avenue in that respect. I do want to still do these fundraisers. I think it's great to raise money for a good cause because this is something that hits close to home for me, and I think it would really be good to continue to do it every year, like a yearly thing. So yeah, I think it's a great thing. I hopefully raise more money. I actually had to put money into it because, you know, it's a venue. You have people coming, a DJ. So I was throwing some dollars into that. But it's fine because it was good for a good cause. But I'd love to definitely try and make it bigger and get more people involved where we can raise more money. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, we raised about $3,000 anyway, which is fantastic. It's more than, I mean, they emailed me and like they were like, whoa, like this is great. We haven't had this ever. So like, you know, anything helps. But I definitely want to keep going with that for sure.
All right, before we wrap it up, where can people find you?
Social media, Instagram, Sarah Maresca is my Instagram handle.
Spell it.
SARAH_MARESCA, or you can find me at VMI Sports, usually in the parking lot or at the gym.
Filming some crazy video.
Yeah, filming a crazy video or doing something very, very crazy. That's where you can find me.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I think this was an awesome conversation.
This was awesome.
You gave a lot of great tips to people out there. Please listen to her advice. Please listen to what we have to say. I know that it's... people are not going to believe what we had to say, but we're telling you it's the 100%.
Yeah, please believe me. I'm not a liar. Please believe what I have to say. And thank you for having me. I really am so honored to be a part of this. Thank
you very much. I'm glad to have you on. Take care. That's it this week for everybody. You know where to find me, huge_fat_loser on Instagram. Thank you for listening to the Notorious HFL podcast and me and my wonderful guest, Sarah. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.